This was the original ring. It had a big dent in it, and the dent was right in this area. So small hammers, punches, whatever I needed to make to get this contour right. You can tap them on a sandbag is nice, or I just use usually just a towel or a lot of cloth or something to tap out where it's dented on the inside, because this had a big dent on this ring, and it was, you know, where you could see it and everything. So I want to fix that. Then I put it on the lathe with a piece of wood and spun it. I'm working on doing the headlight rings. I got to have these chrome plated, and I thought I'd take them down. I've got two of them here. This one takes a standard sealed beam bulb, and this is the original bulb, which was kind of a 2 or 3 piece headlight. It had a separate glass and reflector in it, where a sealed beam, you just buy a 6-volt bulb and it fits in there. But in order to be able to clean this up, I wanted to get these things off. This is the gizmo that goes on here to fasten the headlight on. There's 2 of them. As you can see, they were put on there with some solid rivets is what they were, and I needed to take the heads off, and you'll see here's some rivets here. I leaving these alone because I think those are used to align the headlight so that when you put the sealed beam in, you can't put it in upside down or something. There's a key on the headlight, and I think that's what fits in there. So in order to get those rivet heads off there, you can't really grind them off because they're just too thick, and they're copper. They're either going to be copper or a real soft steel or aluminum. Anytime you got a solid rivet, it's going to be made out of soft stuff. So you can't really grind the head off. That's not practical. So I use this Dremel tool. Of course, it's a variable speed one, so I could change it. And I put a little rotary file in there and run that across the heads of the rivets and took them off there so that these parts are off, and that'll allow me to work on this. Hopefully I don't screw these things up, but time ago I really need to take it down to the plater and get it plated because it's starting to get a little rusty already. But this is still plating on there. There's some plating left on it, and the plating is quite hard to get off there. You can get the chrome off usually with a little bit of acid if you don't leave it in there too long, and just when the acid gets kind of a bluish color, you're taking chrome off then. Underneath that'll be nickel, and then maybe copper. You'll see traces of copper, but this was stoned. Couldn't get the chrome off too easy, so it was just stoned with like a sharpening stone and spun on the lathe, which allowed me to go through and reshape this thing, and I think it looks pretty good. I think I'll take it down and get it re-chromed. Re-chroming might cost more than buying a new one. I don't know. I think the re-chrome ones are probably pretty better because they put a lot of copper on, so they're probably plated a little bit better than a new one would be, but because they're not interested in time, but you're going to probably pay more for it than just buying new. And I think these are available new. I don't know if it's exactly this style or not, but it probably is. If it's pitted real bad from rust or something, the plater can keep plating on copper, and then he stones that off, and then he plates more copper again until he gets all the little pits filled up. But that's very time consuming and expensive, and if new ones are available, I see no reason to worry about that.